Hello, been a bit quiet on YouTube lately, and that is because I've been working on something pretty special. If you're from Leicester and you grew up in the 80s and 90s, the chances are you probably went to the Haymarket at Christmas to watch the light switch on. And if you did, you probably remember this fella, Santa in his sleigh and his reindeer hanging from the roof of the Haymarket Shopping Centre. And then one day, Santa went missing and nobody really knew where he was. So that kind of put the end to that. However, we found him, locked away in a storeroom, and then we came up with an idea. We hatched a little plan to get him back. Let me show you how it went down. Do you know what, right? In my head, this was a lot easier. I'm using a bit of trunking to try and get a line to draw against, but I just haven't got enough hands. I can't clamp everything down, hold this, draw it, keep it looking good, nice curves on it. Do you know what? I'm out here in the workshop, again, on my own, right? I've got 4 kids, and when I need help, where are they? Nowhere to be found. They're all bloody good on the technology and everything, but when I need a bit of help, that's it, can't do it, all disappeared. They're all busy, homework and whatnot. Don't worry about me, I'll be all right. I'll just struggle away out here in the bloody freezing cold workshop. Right, I need a big brain idea. See that? That is a steady hand. I could basically be the guy, you know the guy at Rolls-Royce that does the pinstriping? I could do that. Or, tattooist, in fact. Next video, I'm tattooing someone. Volunteers in the comment section. I've never done it, but see how steady that was? Not a problem. Okay. So, I don't know whether the camera can pick that up. Oh yeah, there's so many lines on there. What I've tried to do is go over my original pencil lines in this maroon colour, but it still looks like an absolute mess. But to me, it makes sense because I've done myself little crosses and ticks and stuff. So that's it, pencil down now. I'm going to leave that for tonight because I just want to run through it with Rebecca tomorrow. And then I will get the jigsaw on it. And what I've tried to do, I've not gone past the halfway line, and I've left myself 100mm at the edge and 100mm at that edge. So I'm hoping that out of this one board, I can actually get both sides of this. I'm going to cut it and then flip it over and trace around it, cut it with a jigsaw, and then use this as a template. That is the idea anyway, because I thought with the other 2 sheets that I've got, I can use that to kind of create all the tub and stuff. Originally I thought that I'd only get one side out of one sheet, but I think if I'm clever with it, I might be able to make it go a little bit further, and that is better for me because it costs less money. Okay, so that's one side of the whole ski assembly cut out. Just get it in frame there. So there'll be two of these obviously, and then there's going to be a cross member connecting them, and then the tub will sit on the top. Yeah, there's got a bit of tidying up to do at the edges, and I don't know whether I just don't do it right, but I hate cutting with a jigsaw because it kind of goes at an angle. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, or the blade needs replacing, or what, but as I wanted to use this as a template for the second one, I think I need to do something to kind of just tidy the edges up and get them a bit smoother, because if I try and use this, I'm just going to replicate these ridges and kind of horrible nasty bits that I've got to tidy up. But I'm going to go and I'm going to have something to eat and sit down and have a think about what to do next. But yeah, there's one half of Santa's sleigh ski assembly. I like that name. I'm going to stick with that, the ski assembly. So my big brain idea is I'm going to use this, what do you call them? Rasp? Is it a rasp? I'm going to use a rasp to try and take off any high spots. Then I'm going to get my router with one of these trim bits, and the top edge should just be smooth enough for the bearing to run around and trim the bottom edge of it, and then I'll flip it over and I'll go around again, and I'm hoping that that should smooth off the edges enough for me to then use this as a template and then as a cutting guide for the second ski assembly. So that's what I'm going to do, rightly or wrongly. That's what my plan is. So I've just moved a piece out into the garden now, just so that I can make some room on my workbench, and then I can trace around it. I've gone around all of the edges now. Ooh, wrong way. Gone around all of the edges with the router. They're a lot neater now. I think I'll be able to use those to trace around. So I just need to go back into the workshop, make a bit of room on the bench, put another sheet on, and then go again. Hopefully it'll be a bit quicker this time, because I've kind of got an idea of what order to do my cuts in and everything. So let me get on with that. Before I trace around this, I'm actually going to screw the two pieces together, because that was a bit dangerous. I'm going to screw the two pieces together because I think the clamps could slip, and also making a hole in it doesn't matter too much because it's obviously got to be painted and we can kind of fill it and sand it and everything, and I just think this is a bit more solid. And then also I think it just makes it a bit easier. I might try and see if I can cut some bits out whilst it's still screwed together, because then I can just use this as the guide for my router, just to get it kind of flush. So I'm just going to go through and put a few more screws in, and then hopefully it'll be a bit easier this time, because this being quite thin, there was quite a bit of flex and whatnot in it. So I'm going to try and keep it a bit stiffer and see if that helps. Because I'm all about trying to make things a bit easier rather than struggling. Do you know what I mean? So let me go ahead and put a few of these in. Okay, the next day, I've been round the whole of it now with that router bit on. So I've got two bits that are exactly the same, including all the faults, because obviously it just traces and it's copied all of the faults as well. But I'm not a carpenter, I'm just kind of doing this from things that I've seen on YouTube and having a go myself. So it is what it is. But what I'm going to do next is, these are skis. So with the round over bit in the router, I think the bottom edge and the top edge, I'm going to round those over both sides as much as I can. So I've got two bits still stuck together here, so I need to take those apart to do that. I'm going to round over the edges of that, and then the other bits that are like the struts and going up to this that the tub will sit on, the edges need tidying up, but I don't think I'm going to round those over. I think I'm going to just put a little chamfer on them. And then with this, once I've done it with the router, obviously because it's a round bit and it doesn't go into these tight corners, I've had to then go around all of the internal corners, cutting it with this. And to be honest, I don't think I've made too bad a job of it. But I'm waffling now, so let's kind of get the round over bit in, and I'll come back to you when I've rounded those bits over. So here we have the rounded over edge, top and bottom, and that extends all the way around the ski, including all the wobbly bits and the faults. And then I did say I was going to do a chamfer on the edge of the rest of the skis, but I might just sand them. So the next thing I will make is the strut that goes across and connects the skis together. And that is going to be this. So it goes from the top of the ski to the bottom, and then this angle on the side is 100 degrees, because I don't want it to be square. I want the skis to kind of slant in on themselves a little bit. So same thing, I've got one. I think actually I will cut kind of a little nice curve out the bottom just to make it a bit more, you know, something a bit more to look at. So I've cut one, and then I'll use this to create a template to cut the second one, and then we'll use the router again just to trim it so that it's exactly the same. And then we will work out how we're going to fix it to the skis. Just left this clip in there just to show you. If you're not paying attention, the tools can slip, and you know, that could have been nasty. So we've got two of these, what are we going to call them, gusset plates, whatever, and they are going to go on the side of the skis like so. And if you remember a minute ago I said I wasn't quite sure how I was going to fix it all together. What I think is, if I can put a little groove or a channel or a recess or whatever you name it in there for this just to slot in, just so that it's kind of secured in place, and then maybe fix through from the other side, or put some plates of some sort on here as well to screw through. Still not decided on that yet, but I want to try something I've seen on other people's YouTubes for cutting a groove. So I'll fix one piece down, and then I've got a bit of the same ply, so obviously it's the same thickness. I'm going to push that up tight there, fix this piece down as well, and then I'll use another flush trim bit, and I've got a groove here then that's exactly the same width as my piece of ply for the gusset plate, and I can just take only a couple of mil, just create a little channel here, and then because this is fixed down, I should be fairly confident about it not slipping, and also it should be exactly the right width. So I will do this and then do a little test fit before I cut 3 more of them, because that would be a bit of a disaster if it doesn't work. I'm not sure I should do it on a scrap piece first to try it, or should I just jump in and do it? I think we'll just jump in and do it, because what could go wrong? So I'll do that now. Okay, right. That's a little groove cut. Let's just whip these off and then see. We'll see how it fits. I haven't tried this yet, so if it doesn't work, I'm gonna look a bit stupid. So, last one. Move those out of the way because we need to save those. And you can see that looks quite nice, that does. So, got the gusset plate in. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's in. I've got a bit of a wonk on it there, look. I think what we will do is maybe we need some kind of block on each side. It's actually come out a little bit wider than I was expecting. I don't know why that is. I mean, it fits. It's just got a bit of a wonk on it from that. That won't do, will it? Oh no, hang on. Haha! No, I was wrong. It hadn't gone in fully. Look, when it's in, that works all right. Still think, yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of a dodgy angle on it, look. We still need to square it up, but that will work. So we'll do that another 3 times, and then I'll come back to this, some kind of block or something, just to secure it, and then maybe a bar going from one gusset plate to the other one. But the system works, so we'll do that again. So I've just put the 2 pieces together with the gusset plates on, and just doing a little test fit of it there. There we go, it's starting to take shape. Pretty solid as well. I don't know whether I will need that central support bar. Kind of feels pretty solid. Yeah, ignore the axe and the blood-stained coat. That's one of the kids' friends just getting ready for a Halloween party. Yeah, so now I'm going to cut the base of the tub that will sit on here, and then have a think about how I'm going to work the sides and the back out. Okay, so now I've got the top cut. This is going to be the top of the skis but the bottom of the tub, and what I've done is I've cut it to size, and I've just put these little blocks on to try and locate it and stop it kind of moving backwards and forwards. So I just want to chamfer these edges a bit, and then that will hopefully make it sit on the top a little better. I could do with sharpening my chisels. Look like I've butchered it there. So let me go around, carry on butchering these, and then I'm going to go and offer it up and see how it fits, and that will probably be it for today, if I'm honest. That fits pretty well. Look at that. Pretty solid, no movement. Do you know what? I'm happy with that. I think now, like I said, I'm going to pack up for the day, and we'll come out again tomorrow. And tomorrow's jobs are, we'll start making the tub. I haven't really thought that through yet. I'll perhaps do that tonight. Have a bit of a think about how it's going to work. But started drinking oat milk. Got to lower my cholesterol and things. It's going to take a while. But yeah, that's all right. Until tomorrow then. Good morning. We are back in the workshop. Today's job, I've started late today because I've got a house full of hungover teenagers, so I wasn't being noisy first thing. But we need to crack on. So we're going to do the sides and the back, and I've just drawn out a nice little pencil line. So the first job is with the jigsaw, just cut this out, and then you know the score. We're going to use this as a template to cut the second one, and then we'll do the back. And I haven't really worked out what's going to happen with this kind of curvy thing here at the minute. So we'll do that, we'll offer it up, we'll cut a second one, we'll work out the back, and then we need to have a sit down and think about this again. So that's what we're going to do now. What do you reckon? Let's go and offer it up and see how it looks. Whew. Okay, so it's been a couple of days and I haven't actually done anything because I've not been feeling very well. But just to give you an update on what we have done behind the scenes, I've cut both of the sides out there, you can see, and they're a perfect match because I did what I said. I fastened them together and used the first one to trace around the second one, and then with the flush bit router went around that. So everything ties up, it's really nice, fits together well. And then what I've done on this one is I've just put a bit of timber on the edge. So this is just going to act just to give me a bit of support, really, just to sit on the base. I'm just going to flip this over and put one on the other side now. And then the next thing we need to do, I need to think up a big brain idea to kind of just rest it all in place, because I want them to splay out at an angle. So it might be a case of running around the garden or the garage finding things that I can use to lean it up against. And then we'll put the back on, and that I'm going to leave oversized, and then when it's fixed I'll trace a line there rather than trying to measure it out, because that's too difficult, I think. So we'll do that. I'll put it all together and then I'll show you a little bit of video footage of it before I put the back on. And then what we've got to do after that is I need a little kind of cross brace at the front, maybe try and create something where his toes will go, and then add in trim and sanding and a few other little tricksy bits, but I'll come back to you. So here we are, that's both the sides on. My plan hasn't quite worked to make them splay out. I can maybe get a little bit on them, but I don't know what I've done wrong. It's not going to work how I thought it would. But having said that, I still think it looks good. So the next job is get the back piece cut out and we'll get that fixed on. Okay, we're back. Right, now we've got the sides on, we've got the back on, and we put a little backrest on. Taking the tip of our thumb off because workshop, right? So let me go and show you this. I can show you this because I'm not releasing this video until the whole thing's finished. So I can show you in the current state that it's in. But have a look at this. So the next job for us is to try and create a bit of texture on the sides and the back, so that when it gets painted, it's kind of going to have almost like a tongue and groove plank effect going down the side and the back. So to do that, obviously it's just a bit of ply, and I know the grain's going the wrong way and all of this, but what we're going to do is just run with a, I think this is called a V-groove bit. So we're just going to run this along. I'll put a straight edge on, and then we're just going to put a little groove in sort of every 100 mil. And then we'll create some trim at the top and the bottom. And then, yeah, when it gets painted, hopefully it will look like planks of timber. So let's do that. And then so when you've done that, what you end up with is something that looks like this, with these nice grooves all the way along. I reckon once painted that will look like tongue and groove, won't it? So the next thing is to get some MDF and rip it down into strips, and that's gonna get stuck on the side and create a trim that goes all the way around. But just looking at it, I don't think I've got the right size, so I'm gonna have to create some joins in it as well. But MDF's expensive, right? So I got what I got, and I'll just have to make it work. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a think about it, and I'll come back to you when I've decided how I'm gonna do that and come up with a plan. So there you go. Right, that's taken me a bit longer than I was expecting, and it's still not finished, to be honest. But it's getting late and I'm starting to lose my funny. I don't know if you can just see there, look. That's the first side of 65mm wide, 12mm thick MDF edging. And that's been an absolute nightmare to try and get it to a point where I'm kind of half happy with it. The edges overhang a little bit, and as you know, we're going to go around it with the flush trim bit on the router just to get it all nice, and then I might round over it, the outside edge, or chamfer it or whatever. I don't know yet, but like I say, I'm starting to lose enthusiasm right now. It's late on a Sunday night, and I've literally only got a couple of days left to do this before it goes over for painting. But what I'm going to do is all of these bits, before I glue and stick them down, I'm going to trace around them, so at least I haven't got to work the shapes out again. And I'll just leave that out of the way. I'll cut that tomorrow. Hopefully I'm feeling a bit better tomorrow and a bit more positive about it. So let me do that, draw around them, and then I'm going to glue and nail these down and leave them to dry overnight, and then trim them tomorrow. So yeah, have a pleasant evening. Right, we're back in the workshop again. A couple of days have gone by, but I haven't filmed the last couple of bits because we have actually got a deadline for this. So I've only really got tonight to carry on with this, because tomorrow night I'm out, and then the night after that I've got to take it into the shop really and get it put together. So what have I done in the last day or so, which I didn't film because, like I say, I was rushing a bit. So his backrest, just put a nice little groove in that and rounded it over at the top. The sides, so we've got two of these, and now it's all trimmed nice and flush. The edge is rounded over, this edge is rounded over. We've got the tongue and groove style cuts, and that extends down to the other side piece and the back panel there. Tonight's job, also I've kind of put this little trim bit on the front, just where his feet are going to go, and then made the deck look like it's tongue and groove as well. So tonight I'm going to break it all back down again, and then on these gusset plates, they look a bit bulky and a bit plain and a bit boring, so I'm going to try and make myself some room and break it all down again, and then try and cut some, I don't know, either cut some holes into it or cut some sort of triangles into it. And then really I just need to give everything a decent sand. So I'm not going to film this next bit because, again, it's just going to be me waffling and it's a bit boring. So I think the next time I see you will hopefully be over at the shop unit where we've assembled it, and then I can kind of hand it over to Rebecca for paint and trim and all these kind of things. So that's it really. I'm going to crack on now, and then the next time I see you, it will all be assembled. Fingers crossed. Right, that's it for now. Thank you. So here we are in the unit now. It's almost 9:30. We've got it in. I've set it up. The next time you see that, that will be painted and looking fantastic. And here you have, no, that's for next time.
This is our brand new Christmas lights at Haymarket Shopping Centre. Who used to remember Santa on the sleigh at the top? You don't remember that a couple of years ago? Okay. And remember, the community hall. Who's outside the community hall? At 6:45 is going to be unveiling of the Christmas pass. Right? They've been waiting for 3 months to get these whole shows there decorated.
I hope you've enjoyed watching that, just a little bit of Christmas silliness. If you do get chance over the Christmas break or leading up to Christmas, go down to the Haymarket, have a look in the community hub where Mission Magpie are based up on the top floor. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. If you have, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe, or drop anything in the comments. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much and have a great Christmas.